Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching this video. Now today I'm going to give you top 10 pop culture reference that you probably have heard in a movie or in a conversation. You'd have heard people mention a phrase or a quote that seem rather out of place in their daily conversation, but it's actually one of the most common thing that you would notice in an English speaking community or country. So when we say pop culture reference, it's a line or a quote from a movie or a famous personality that we use in our day-to-day conversation with each other, when we communicate with each other. So number one is, there's no place like home. Now this quote or this line came from the movie The Wizard of Oz. So this line is most often used when you go somewhere and you come back home and you're so glad to be home and you say, oh, there's no place like home. Well, there really isn't, is there? There's no place quite like home. Pop culture reference number two is, run, Forrest, run. Now, this line is from the movie Forrest Gump. And I'll give you an example of when this line might be used in our day-to-day life. So my daughter does athletics, and when she runs, I'm standing on the sideline cheering for her and I'm going, run, Forrest, run. Next time you hear someone use that line, now you know where that come from. And our pop culture reference number three for today is, I'll be back. Now, I'm guessing we all know where that line came from. It's from the Terminator, where you can see Arnold say, I'll be back. So this line is used normally, say if I'm going somewhere and I say to my husband, I'm going for shopping, I'll be back. Yeah, so it's quite a popular line, isn't it? You hear a lot of people say, I'll be back. Well, the next pop culture reference that we're going to talk about is often heard when people are in power. With great power comes great responsibility. Do you know where this line is from? Spider-Man. It's actually quite true. People in key positions, they have great power, but they also have a great responsibility. I'll give you an example of how this line is used in day-to-day conversation. Is, my friend become an elected politician and his mother told him, with great power comes great responsibility. And the next line is from Star Wars. And I didn't realize how popular Star Wars is actually until I came to Australia. I've come across people who are an avid collector of Star Wars merchandise and Star Wars, anything to do with Star Wars. They just love it. They go crazy for Star Wars. And the line is, may the force be with you. An example of how this line is used or can be used is, as I was leaving for my interview, my sister said, may the force be with you. It basically means good luck to you. Good luck in what you're about to do. Our next pop culture reference is from the movie Titanic. Well, I don't believe there's anybody that hasn't watched Titanic, unless, of course, they are from a different planet altogether, or I could be wrong. I just assume that everybody would have watched the Titanic, because I have watched it like a gazillion times and I loved it. And the line is, I'm king of the world, where Leonardo DiCaprio, you can see him stretch out his arms and say, I'm king of the world. Well, this line is used when someone feels really good about themselves, or of course, if you're on top of a ship, I suppose. Our next pop culture reference is, you've got a friend in me. This line came from the movie Toy Story. You can hear people say, if someone is going through a tough time and they say, oh, I feel all alone, I feel I don't have anybody that I can count on, then you can say, you've got a friend in me. It's a way of reassuring the person that, they're not alone and you're there for them. Our next pop culture reference is, life is like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're going to get. This line came from the movie Forrest Gump. That movie was epic, and there's a lot of lines, a lot of pop culture references that are used today taken from that movie. So what that line means, life is like a box of chocolate, you never know what you're going to get, is basically to say that life is full of surprises. We don't know what's going to happen, so you just got to live your life, do the best you can with what you have. Who can predict what's going to happen in the next day, tomorrow, next week, next month, next year? So yeah, it indeed is like a box of chocolate. You never know what's around the corner. The next pop culture reference is, we're all pretty bizarre. It's just that some of us are better at hiding it. Now this line is taken from the movie The Breakfast Club. And it is to say that, we all have our own issues. None of us are perfect. It's just that some of us are better at hiding it. I'll give you an example of how this can be used is, well, most people don't like public speaking and we all get nervous, but it's just that some of us are better at hiding how nervous we are. And it doesn't show as much as the other people. You can use this pop culture reference to say that, everybody has their own issues. And it's just a matter of how good they are at hiding their issues from the world and from people around them. The last pop culture reference that I've got for you for today is just keep swimming. Well, it's from the movie Finding Nemo. Now, what does it mean? Just keep swimming is a word of encouragement. Yes, you might be going through rough waters, you might be going through a tough time, but just keep swimming. Just take one step at a time, just keep moving forward. Don't give up. It basically means don't give up, just keep on going. So yeah, just keep swimming. I hope you find this video helpful, and especially if you're looking at moving into an English speaking country or you're already there and sometimes you struggle to make sense of what they're saying. Well, the English speaking communities are quite fond of using pop culture reference in their day-to-day communications. So yeah, maybe you can use a line or two next time you talk to somebody. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do, please subscribe to my channel. And if you have already subscribed, thank you so much for your support, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye now.